Saturday, the 22nd of May, 1915. The greatest disaster in the entire history of railways in Britain happened at Quintinshill, half a mile or so from Gretna Green, immediately north of the Anglo-Scottish border. 5 trains were involved. A slow-stopping parliamentary train from Carlisle to Beatock, a troop train running from Larbert in Stirlingshire to Liverpool, carrying 500 men to be shipped out to the Dardanelles, an overnight sleeping car express from London to Glasgow, and 2 coal trains, one full and heading to the far north to fuel the Royal Navy's Grand Fleet based at Scapa Flow in the Orkney Islands, the other empty wagons returning to the coalfields of South Wales. The ghastly saga began with James Tinsley, the day signalman, hitching an illicit ride from his home at Gretna Station on the English side of the border on the locomotive of the parliamentary train, which was to be shunted into sidings at Quintinshill to allow the late-running sleeper train to overtake. He would arrive at the signal box half an hour late for his shift, a serious sackable offence. But nighttime signalman George Meakin covered up the misdemeanour by writing down all the signalling details on a sheet of paper, which Tinsley would duly copy into the official log, so that the change of handwriting would make it seem as if he had come on duty at his official time of 6 a.m. As the stopping train arrived at Quintinshill, both routes were occupied. Tinsley alighted from the engine and walked across to the signal box. The local train was reversed across to the southbound main line, a perfectly proper procedure, but Tinsley didn't set the signals to protect it. Shortly afterwards he was offered and accepted the southbound troop train, which was travelling at speed. The driver of the troop train couldn't see the obstruction as his view was blocked by Blacksite Bridge, and he hit the local train at speed. The ancient gaslit wooden carriages of the troop train concertinaed. Gas pipes and tanks were ruptured, and the wreckage swiftly caught fire. Before anyone could stop it, the sleeping car express ploughed into the wreckage, causing further death and destruction. "226 people died. Mostly soldiers, but also some civilian passengers and railwaymen, and a similar number suffered appalling injuries. Local hospitals struggled to cope, and in an age without today's instant communications, help was a long time in coming. Both Tinsley and Meakin were subsequently imprisoned for their part in the disaster. On the 100th anniversary in 2015, memorial services were held at Quintinshill, at Larbert, and in Leith, Edinburgh. Along with Princess Anne, the Princess Royal, the Scottish First Minister Nicola Sturgeon, the great and the good of the region, soldiers of the Royal Regiment of Scotland, former soldiers and descendants of the 1915 victims, I was at Gretna Green for an impressive parade, followed by a march to the accident site at Quintinshill. Church services were also held. In 2014, a new and extensively researched book on the subject was published, offering a new and, to me at least, very convincing explanation for James Tinsley's disastrous negligence. But if you want to know what caused a conscientious railwoman to kill so many people, buy the book.